everyone. Good night again, and thank you for joining. Welcome to the Lesma Ellis Foundation's fourth webinar of 2025. I am Rashida Barrett, and I'll be your host for tonight. So, seeing that this is Mental Health Awareness Month, it would be so fitting that we explored a topic that, looked at such issues. So, tonight we will be having an insightful session, and the topic will be debunking the myths of mental illness. We're absolutely thrilled to have Dr. Trumeka Victor Chiana with us tonight to lead this important discussion. But before we dive in, here's a little background on our speaker. So, Dr. Chiana is a licensed counseling psychologist and professional counselor at the University Health Center. He is also an educator and author, serving as an adjunct lecturer at the Michael University College, Jamaica Theological Seminary, Caribbean Graduate School of Theology, and the United Theological College of the West Indies. Originally from Nigeria, Dr. Chiana plays an active role in the Nigerian Jamaican community. He is the vice president of the Nigerian Association in Jamaica and a member of the Association of Graduate Researchers in Education. His passion for education and helping others led him to establish Peace Springs Consultants, which provides counseling, life coaching, and public education to schools and organizations across Jamaica. During his internship as a chaplain at the Children's Healthcare Hospital of Atlanta, Dr. Chiana gained deep insight into grief and trauma, especially from the perspective of healthcare professionals. He continues to champion the cause of mental well being and support for civil servants and communities alike. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Dr. Chiana.
Thank you so very much, Shade, for that warm introduction. And again, I want to extend my greetings to everyone on this call tonight. I am indeed so humbled as well as elated to be the one who will be, leading this conversation. For me, it's more of a conversation. Because I'm gonna pull on everyone on this call to play a vital part as we go about discussing this important conversation, the whole aspect of debunking the myths that surrounds mental illness. Just permit me to put on screen the PowerPoint that I'll be utilizing to engage us in this exciting conversation. Just give me a minute. Let me know if you're seeing what is being projected.
Yes, we're seeing it.
Thank you. All right. I've been so taxed this afternoon, rather evening, to lead this conversation, debunking the myth of mental illness, separating facts from fiction. But before I dive into this conversation, I want to do a little bit of checking in. Just want to find out from every single one on this call, how are you doing this warm evening? How are you doing? You can use a reaction icon and just share just share briefly how you're doing right now in this moment.
Also, if you're not seeing the reaction that you're looking for, you can drop it in the chat.
Thank you so much. For the interest of time, can I ask at least if three persons on this call just to share briefly with us how you are doing right now in this moment? Three persons.
Well, Sophia Francis says she's feeling great. Sharika Stanley says that she is feeling great as well. And I put in the chat that I'm feeling great. It seems that most of us are feeling great.
Awesome. Thank you so very much. for that warm responses. Now, take a moment as you look at this image being projected. Again, either using the reaction icon or the chat as well, just to give a brief description of what you are seeing right now in this space. What are you seeing as you take a look at this image being projected? What comes to mind? What is happening here?
Depressed.
Someone said depressed. Okay. Any other thing apart from being depressed?
Tiredness.
Yeah, exhaustion.
Exhaustion. Okay. Any other thought?
Loss of appetite.
Loss of. I'm just wondering, how is it that somebody has food in his hand and yet is unable to? Other thought?
Sadness.
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 And good. And every one of you who have responded, you all responded excellently well. This image alone will give to us so many interpretations of what actually is going on with this individual. And this tells you and I that when it comes to the whole concept, the whole ideology of mental illness or mental disorder, it varies. There is not just one, it has various layers. So mental health is just as important as physical health. It affects how you think, the way you're feeling, and as well the behavior. Yet, many of us neglect our mental wellness. Although it is what galvanizes every single thing that pertains our thoughts, our emotions, as well as our behavior, majority of individuals still struggle with maintaining this critical aspect of their being that will make them become more functional. I want us to note that mental health encompasses a broad state of well-being beyond the absence of a mental disorder or illness. According to the World Health Organization, by definition, states that mental health is a state of mental well-being that enables people to do what? To cope with the stresses of life, realizing their abilities, as well as being able to learn well and work well. And by so doing, they'll be able to contribute to their community. It is an integral component of health and wellness that underpins our individual and collective abilities to make decisions, build relationships, and shape the world we live in. In addition, mental health, it involves your feeling, your ability to feel well, your ability to cope effectively, as well as function without excessive distress in various roles and responsibilities. It does not imply, even in midst of all of what I've shared earlier, it does not imply the absence of stresses or trauma, but rather the ability to manage them constructively. So when we talk about mental health is not without the interaction or interfacing of stress or stressors. However, when those stressors begin to show up, your ability to cope, to navigate, becomes what counts. I want us to know that approximately 3% of Jamaica, I'm only focusing on our context. I don't want to look overseas, just our context alone. That 3% of Jamaicans do what? Experience depressive disorder while 4.1% suffer from anxiety disorder. And when you look at the equation here, it seems as if women are more predisposed to anxiety as well as depression. 3.7 for depression, 4.3 for anxiety, compared to 3.2.3 for both disorders among men. Among our teenagers aged 13 to 17, 25% have seriously considered suicide and 18% have attempted it. Just think about the statistic and then understand the reason why we need to debunk the myths that surrounds these critical issues that faces every single individual, including each and every one of us on this call. Again, mental health refers to our emotional, psychological, and social well-being, which includes emotional intelligence, your ability, your resilience, coping skills, as well as relationship. Now, when
Sorry,
we
excuse me, Dr. Chiana, sorry. Is it possible for you to select hide right here? There person saying that they're not seeing the full slide.
okay,
Thank you.
any better? Thank
Sophia,
you.
any better?
Yes,
Oh,
thanks.
no problem. You can continue.
Thank
Sorry
you
about
so
that.
much for that, for pointing out that for me. So there are signs that you need to see or note. Those will suggest that somebody or someone, an individual, is struggling with mental issues. And these signs ranges from changes in mode or behavior to increased stress or anxiety or difficulty sleeping or concentrating, as well as withdrawal from social activities. In addition, physical symptoms like headache or stomach issues. And the list continues. There are common mental health issues, as mentioned already, based on statistics, that anxiety, which has to do with feeling overwhelmed, worried, or fearful. Depression has to do with someone feeling sad, hopelessness, or disconnected from social engagement or interactions. The whole idea of trauma, experiencing emotional or psychological distresses after a traumatic event. And this one is very common among those who are in the workplace. Burnout,
Wow.
feeling exhausted, depleted, or disconnected from work or even life. Mental illness, a condition that has a negative effect on the way an individual thinks, the way an individual feels, as well as the behavior associated to these two. So the combination of the cognitive as well as the emotions gives us the outcome of what this two interplay is doing on someone who is struggling with his or her mentality. So the thought will somewhat impact the emotions or the psychological aspect of your being. And if the thought is negative, automatically the feelings that will come will also be what? Negative. And there is no way where that two negativities are, interacting that you want to expect a positive outcome. It is not possible. So the negative thought will give birth to negative emotions, which at the end of the day will produce a negative behavior. So going through the different myths that would have, hindered individuals from assessing therapeutic interventions. One among these many myths has to do with this one, that mental illness is rare in Jamaica. I don't know. Maybe somebody on this call need to share with me this afternoon if this is true or not. What says you? Is it true? That is very rare. We are completely immune to this. Is it true?
Not true.
No, it's
False.
not.
Thank you so very much. The reality remains that mental illness is more common than you think, and it affects people from all walks of life in our context. Again, according to the World Health Organization, 1 in 4 people will experience a mental health illness or disorder each year, every single year. The possibility is there. And as a result of this statistical data, it simply tells us that no, it's a common phenomenon. So mental illness can affect anyone, regardless of age, sex, or socioeconomic status. Another myth here has to do with that it's a sign of weakness. That anyone who is, reporting any mental illness, that means that person is weak. Again, I want to ask the audience, my awesome audience, this statement that mental illness is a sign of weakness, is that statement true?
No, it's not.
No,
Absolutely
no,
not, sir.
no, not true.
Absolutely no. Capital No, no. Mental illness is not a sign of weakness, but rather a sign of strength to acknowledge and seek help. For the fact that you're able to acknowledge that something is not gelling means that you have the tenacity, the capacity to not only recognize, not only identify, but being able to take a step in resolving whatever it is that is showing up. So it is not a sign of weakness, rather it is a sign of strength. So mental illness can affect, again, anyone, regardless of strength or character. It's not about your strength, it's not about your character. It's, in fact, let me put it this way, that when it comes to mental illness is not a respecter of anyone. When it wants to hit home, it will hit home. So it's not because you're strong or because you have moral values. No, when once it locates you, it hits home. That's just what it is. And there are so many factors that will predispose an individual to these whole issues. Even when you did not anticipate, even when you did not even think of those predisposing factors, once they show up, definitely it will somehow incapacitate that individual. Therefore, seeking help is a sign of courage as well as self-awareness. There's another myth I want to share with us here. It says that people with mental illness, are violent. Is that true?
No, not always.
Not
No,
always.
Yeah, not
Thank you so
no,
much.
always.
Not always.
not always.
Not always. I like that response. Not always. Because if this statement is true, I can tell us tonight that I don't think any of us will even be on this call tonight. That is what it is. Not always, sometimes. So the vast majority of people with mental illness are not violent, rather, and are more likely to be victims of crime than perpetrators. And research shows that people with mental illness are more likely to be victims of violence than the general population. As such, mental illness does not directly cause violence. That's what it is. It's not because you're depressed or because you're experiencing a level of anxiety means that you're going to display a violent demeanor. No, that is not true. Another myth here is about mental illness is a cause or punishment. What says you? Is it a cause or as a result of punishment? I'm just trying to, wrap my head around this myth. What says you?
It's neither.
Treatable medical condition.
I didn't hear that.
It's the latter. It's treatable.
It's the latter. So it's a punishment rather than a cause. That's what we are saying.
No,
No, it's not.
treatable medical condition.
It's a medical condition, so it's neither a cause nor a punishment. So it's just a medical condition.
Correct.
And this medical condition is treatable. So mental illness is a health condition that can be managed with treatment and what? Support. And based on statistics again, many who have gone through this part, they have successfully managed their mental health. And not just only did they manage their mental health, can I tell you, they are occupying prominent positions, serving humanity from a place of empathy. Why? Because they have gone through the rigors of mental issues, struggle, challenges that would have, again, helped them to be able to analyze, evaluate, and be able to know how to interact with those that they, one way or the other, encounter that have going through the same struggle that they would have experienced some time ago. So it's not true. Mental illness is not a cause nor punishment. Another myth here is about the mental illness is a result of poor parenting. Those parents who are on this call, please talk to us. Is that true? Is it
No,
as
not
a
at
result
all.
of poor
False.
No,
parenting?
not at all.
False.
Not at all.
None at all. So mental illness is not solely caused by poor parenting, but rather a complex interplay of genetic, environmental, as well as social factors. So mental illness can affect anyone regardless of upbringing or parenting style. So parents can play a supportive role in their child's mental health journey. And I want to take this moment to big up all the parents on this call. You all are doing, you are doing excellent job in ensuring that the gift that you have been blessed with is being well taken care of. Big up yourself tonight for me now. There's another myth here that says that people with mental illness can't work or contribute to society. True or false?
False.
False.
Yes. That's
False.
false.
That's
Big
false.
false.
That's big. Thank you so very much. Big false. Because I would have just say to you, just take a trip to US and go and have a little bit of conversation with Bill Gates. Let him share his story with you. And there are so many of them. So people with mental illness can work and
Trump.
contribute to society in meaningful ways. Many individuals with mental illness are highly productive and as well have contributed tremendously to various fields. Accommodations and support can help individuals with mental illness thrive in the workplace. And that's why it becomes very important as we continue to advocate for the need for organizations, for institutions to give key priority to this whole ideology, mental wellness, mental health, and mental well-being. Because the truth remains that if this important subject is not being entrenched or interwoven within this working space, working environment, it's going to be very problematic, especially understanding that your ability to be productive is solely determined by how stable your mental health is. If you are not mentally stable, you won't be able to function. And if you're unable to function, you won't be able to produce. That is what it is. So for all the managers here on this call tonight, please, for all the supervisors, the CEOs, please, I will want to encourage you as you leave this call tonight, begin to put measure plans in place to strengthen this whole call for mental health and well-being of the persons that you are interfacing with, you've employed. You need to ensure that their mental health is priority in all that you do. More so as you plan your budget, don't forget to put substantial amount towards mental health. So mental health care services, then apart from Beverly Hospital, you know, which is the largest mental health hospital in Jamaica, offering inpatient care and rehabilitation services. We also have community mental health teams providing patient-centered intervention, medications, compliance, as well as social reintegration. You also have the mental health unit, a part of the Ministry of Health, responsible for policy formation, mental health promotion, as well as coordination. In addition to that, we have key players in the mental health care. But they are here. Their sole responsibility is to provide care and support to mentally impaired or emotionally disturbed individuals. You also have the mental health team comprises of I've mentioned already. You talk about the psychologists, talk about the social workers, the community health workers, and the list of them. So there are numerous persons of trained individuals who are in the field of the helping profession. You also have the medical team, which includes the doctors, registered nurse, patient care assistants, and other healthcare professionals. All these persons have been contributing tremendously towards this field. So the challenges and future direction. Yes, in order for this myth to be holistically and comprehensively debunked, there is need for an urgent call, especially as it relates to the whole concept, this ideology of stigmatization. You see, because of cultural norms, cultural religious norms, because when we begin to look at the historical concept, then you begin to understand what would have given birth to stigmatization, especially as it relates to what mental illness. I know you know from a cultural perspective that when you hear the word mental illness, the first thing that comes to mind is what? I'm not going to say it. I don't want it to come from my mouth tonight. I want somebody to echo. What's the first thing that comes to mind from a cultural standpoint? When you hear the word
Madness.
mental
Madness.
madness,
Insane. Head
insane,
not good.
those
Head not
have
good.
been what it is. Hmm? And you hear what 21 Bellevue. Those are the thing. Those are the concurrent things stemming from what? From cultural perception concerning mental illness. So reducing stigma, which again is encouraging open discussion and promoting mental health awareness, just as we are doing here tonight. Improving services by expanding community-based care and integrating mental health into primary health care. Also, if we really want to do justice to this whole concept, there is need for what? Collaborating from the perspective that no single individual knows it all. There is no single tree that will say that it was the tree alone that makes the forest. The forest is the combination of different species of trees. And in this helping profession, there are different species of trained professionals. So when we begin to collaborate together, we begin to harmonize together, definitely everything about mental health and mental well-being, we begin to top the list of all that we do. The medical team, the psychologists, the social workers, working hand in hand. I mean, if I should share my experience with us tonight, when I was doing my internship all the way in the United States of America, I mean, we gel together as a psychologist, working with doctors and social workers. You see, every one of us, we are making our pulling together just for the betterment of humanity. So fostering partnership between healthcare teams, organizations, and communities to enhance patients' outcome. At the end of the day, it's you lending your hand, I putting my hand, every one of us putting our hands together for the good of society. So in order to break this stigma, there are three things we need to focus on. Those three things, those three areas. One, talk openly, share your feelings and experiences with trusted others. Listen without judgment. Support others who share their struggles. And I know that there is different. I would have put here active listening. Listening, yes, you can say that you are listening to me, but you are not connecting with me. But with active listening, is this that you are not only listening with your eyes, you are not only listening with your ears, you're not only listening, but you're also doing what? Listening with your eyes, with your mouth, with your with your hand, with your entire soul. And by so doing, you'll be able to get both the non-verbal communications that is being conveyed as the individual shares his or her story. So it becomes important that we listen to each other actively. In addition to that, education, to educate ourselves, to learn about mental health conditions and the various resources that are available that will help in mitigating these mental challenges or struggles. Prioritizing mental health. And you can only do this through the following. You need to engage in self-care. Engage in activities that bring joy and relaxation. And I think I'm gonna extend a little bit on self-care. And this is my concept. And I'm sharing this ideology with you tonight. And what is it about? That if you refuses to do self-care and allow yourself to take care of you, do you know what is going to be the outcome? Do you know what the outcome will look like? The outcome will not be favorable to you at all. So in order to prevent that, it becomes very important that you take care of yourself. Whatever you need to do to ensure that you are healthy, to ensure that you are mentally stable, you need to engage in those activities. Otherwise, like I said, if you allow yourself to take care of you, you will not like the outcome. Another thing you need to prioritize is what? Practice. Practicing what? Mindfulness. Practice meditation, deep breathing or yoga. Nurture. So social connection. See this. I know that every one of us on this call, we are all social beings. Even those who say they have a schizoid personality disorder, can I tell you, they still have a little bit of connection. So you need to nurture relationship with families and friends and anyone who you know will make you give you that little bit of warmness. You need to ensure to nurture whatever it takes you need to do to nurture your relationship. Please go right ahead and do those. It's important. In addition to that, seek help. When you notice that something is not gelling well, just don't keep it to yourself. Cry out. And in crying out, look for persons who will understand you, not persons who are going to criticize you or pull you down or judge you. No, look for persons who will be able to say to you, here I am. You can lean your head on my shoulder. So consult with mental health professionals when the need do arise. Another thing you need to prioritize is what? Healthy habit. Maintain healthy habit. Maintain a balanced diet. Exercise regularly and get enough sleep. I know, yes, we will say we need to work because if we don't work, we won't make the money. But don't remember again, when you work and work yourself out, the money that you've been working for, you know where it's going to go? Think about it. Won't it be much more better for you to balance the equation so that nothing suffocates, nothing suffers? And there are so many things you can do without even spending money. I'm telling us so many ways you can, take care of yourself without spending a dime. We are so blessed with mountains, with rivers, with beach. We are so blessed with gardens, nature. We don't need to pay for it. We don't need to go for vacation because for things like those, we have them right here in our domain. Why not utilize them for your good and for your betterment? So whatever it takes, whatever it's going to take you to maintain a healthy lifestyle, please go right ahead and do that. Don't allow anyone to suffocate you or deprive you from doing that. Are you ready to do this little walk journey with me now? Just a little journey with me, a little journey with me, just a little journey with me. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm
Yes.
ready.
Yes, go
Are we
ahead.
all ready?
Yes.
Thank you. Yes. Well, in this field, we say it's relaxation. Well, it's among the many relaxation techniques that we utilize. This, okay? So we're gonna do a little bit of exercise by breathing in. You inhale and then you exhale. Okay? Are we ready? Take your time. Close your eyes. Put your hands on your two hands on your lap, on your yes lap. Yes. Ensure that your are well rested on the ground. At the count of three, 1, 2, 3, inhale, and you sustain it for at least 5 seconds. At the count of three, you're going to exhale. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. Can we try it one more time? Is that a yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
1, 2, 3. Let's go. Sustain. At the count of three, let's go. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. How are you feeling? Just I want three persons to respond to us. Either by way of using the chat and then it will be read out to us.
Very good. Feeling very good.
Relaxed.
Awesome.
Relaxed.
Relax.
Yeah, relaxed.
Great. Great. Awesome. So that's one thing, one way, to deal with those stresses that sometimes do bombard our spaces. Yes, you can just do take that. Another way, there's you're checking in to know how you're feeling. Sometimes there are so many things that want to, trigger so many emotions, but you've been able to check on those and be able to know how to deal with them. Also, affirmation. Affirmation. Three things about yourself. Three things that if I should say, ask us this evening, three things about you that whenever you remember these three things, you just feel like heaven is coming down right now with where you are. What will those three things look like?
I'm worthy, I'm valuable, and I'm blessed.
That is so good. I want another three from someone else. What other three?
I'm beautiful, I'm
Beautiful.
capable, and I'm worth it.
Awesome. I need one more voice. Another three things. One more. Three things.
I'm achieving,
Yes.
I'm blessed,
Yes.
and I'm thankful.
Awesome. Thank you so very much. And this other area has to do with gratitude. You know, sometimes we become so preoccupied with the things that are not working well for us. And then we negate those little blessings. And as a result of that, it seems as if we are what? Ungrateful. So gratitude exercise again becomes one among the many exercises that you need to engage. Be thankful for those little blessings that you slept and you woke up. That's a huge blessing that you need to be grateful for, that you need to be thankful for. And the list continues. And the last but not the least, it has to do with need. And I'm going to say this here, that whatever you need in order to make yourself happy is not outside of your reach. No. So what am I saying in a nutshell? What I'm saying
Sir,
in a nutshell is this.
repeat that,
If
sir. I didn't
you
get you.
are waiting for somebody to make you happy, then you will wait till you get old. Yes. Your happiness should not be stringent on any person or anything. Your happiness should be stringent on what? On you. Therefore, whatever you know that you need in order to make yourself happy, do what? Ensure to walk your way towards such stuff. Happiness is not expensive. Happiness is costless. I don't know even if you did not remember anything that I said here tonight. Happiness is not expensive. Happiness is what? Costless. So instead of waiting for someone to make you happy, begin to look inward in order to identify the things that you need in order to make yourself happy. By debunking this myth, we can work towards creating a more supportive and inclusive environment for individuals with mental illness in Jamaica. Let's work together to promote mental health awareness and reduce the stigma. And I want to encourage every one of us by way of advocacy that you need to get involved. You need to educate yourself. Even as you do, you also need to educate others. In addition to that, become that supportive beacon that you will help others to come out of this struggle. Together, let me restate, together, we will make this thing work.